So guys, now we'll talk about some of the important topics of the game week 10, as I have some questions that I got in my Instagram and the live stream. So we'll talk about every player and all the differentials and important topics like the captainship and all that stuff. I'll try and put out all the information as much as I can, so that it will be helpful to everyone. And if there are any changes or anything about the live stream or the new video, I'll let you guys know in my Instagram, so do follow in that. The link is given in the description. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now firstly, let's start with the Man City assets, because I think right now everyone is targeting the Man City players, not only their defense, not only their midfield, everything. The whole team is under the radar of the FPL managers right now. So I'll start with the Sterling and De Bruyne debate. I'm one of the victim of Sterling owner right now, because for the money I paid for him, he's not been returning decent point right now, so that is causing my FPL points to drop than usual. So I've been getting this question a lot about, now do we sell Sterling? So I think that would be waste of transfer right now, looking at how their fixtures are going to turn. And yeah, the Sterling, De Bruyne, or particularly Man City have not been playing with the standard they are expected, comparing to the last season or previous season. They are not doing the same type of destruction, may I say. But still, what I think is, now looking at the fixtures and looking at the table and their position, I think they need to start winning the games. So I think this is the right time. And another thing is, people talking about taking hit to bring in De Bruyne this game week. So I feel like since Ben Mee has returned in that Burnley team, Burnley have looked very good defensively. That's what I personally think, looking at the matches. So I don't think it's like you need to change, you go out of the path to bring in De Bruyne this game week. Maybe if you feel like there is other player there is a priority for you, maybe it might be Vardy, or it might be, I don't know, Son, or anyone, Salah. So if you have first priority other than De Bruyne, just bring that other player and just leave out De Bruyne for this game week. I don't think that would be disastrous. But if you ask me between Sterling and De Bruyne, my answer would be De Bruyne, because he looks way more attacking. And if Aguero does not start, it is pretty sure that De Bruyne will be the penalty taker, and he takes corners, he takes free kicks, so I don't see problem having De Bruyne there. But again, as I said, if you want to skip De Bruyne for this game week, I don't see a problem there. But if you want to bring him in, and if you don't have any other priority player, top priority player in your list, and if you have a transfer, I think De Bruyne should be one of those players you should be bringing in. Now let's move toward the Man City defense. Now I think when we talk about the Man City defense, I think everyone comes to the contention, because now, since, as I said, I've seen that a lot of managers are bringing in Cancelo, and now, as I said, that Mendy has started training. Now we'll have to see in the Champions League what happens, but I feel like Cancelo is not the natural left back player. He has adopted to that position, but still he's not the natural player there. So as soon as Mendy starts getting his time and starts performing well, and as soon as he gets to his form, I feel like Mendy will be the first left back, so that means I feel like Walker and Mendy will be the fullbacks, but still that will still put Mendy and Cancelo and Walker and Zinchenko, all of them in a rotation risk. And looking at that defensive line, it feels like Diaz is the only one that looks like the most nailed-on player, not even Laporte. So I think Ake is injured right now, so it feels like Diaz may be the one who is most nailed on after Ederson in that Man City defense. So I don't know if you want to spend that kind of money on Ederson, but what I think is two players that I might want to invest in the Man City defense would be Walker and Diaz right now. So it will all depend on how Mendy will get back to the team. If he starts playing week in, week out, that will definitely change the structure of the team, I'm pretty sure. But again, the thing about bringing in Walker is that, as I've said this multiple times, now you can get Chilwell for 6.1, and you can get other players for cheaper value like Cresswell, all these players for cheaper value. Do you want to spend 6.1 million for Walker? He's not on set pieces, he's a rotation risk. So yeah, I don't see any nailed on or any defensive player that I feel like I need to have from Man City. But I think if you want to pay some money for the probably a little more nailed on than any other player, it looks like Diaz to me. But again, he's a center back, so yeah. So my answer for the Man City defense is maybe go for Diaz, or maybe go for Walker. But it feels like if Mendy starts playing in the left, Walker also might be rotated with Cancelo in the future. So yeah, there's always that risk with Man City team, but it's like high risk, high reward kind of situation. So yeah, I think Diaz might be the most nailed on player after the Ederson in that Man City defense line. Now moving on to another player that was talked a lot in my stream was Salah. Now a lot of players have sold Salah for maybe Ziyech or Fernandes mostly this game week. I'm pretty sure. I personally did that. I removed Salah for Fernandes just so I could captain Fernandes, and it kind of worked out. So what I personally am doing, my plans for Salah is that bringing him in game week 12 against Fulham. That is my personal plan right now. So a lot of managers are trying to bring in Salah the game against Brighton away. So I don't think it will be an easy game, so I'll have to see how the tactics and things change without Lamptey there, as Lamptey is unavailable for next game week. So yeah, usually we see that Brighton don't like to sit back. They are very attacking team. They have been kind of unlucky this season, but they are playing very good football. Now I'm pretty sure he will be back this game week, but again, this is one of those situations like with De Bruyne. If you want to wait for bringing in Salah, if you don't want to rush in, or if you don't have to break your bank to bring in Salah or make too much compromises, just bring Salah. If you are tempted and you feel like you have that instinct that he will do good against Brighton, do it. But I personally am gonna wait after the Wolves game against Fulham in game week 12 to bring Salah in, so that because one of the reasons is I don't have the transfer to do that, and I don't have the budget to do that personally. So yeah, if you have the budget and if you feel like that you are going to miss out on Salah, do it. Or else I don't think there is a hurry personally for me to bring Salah in just yet, but I'll definitely try and get Salah in the game week 12. Now the other player was that a lot of managers are kind of stuck with is James Rodriguez. Now the thing about James Rodriguez is his form is not good enough right now. We can easily see that he was like invisible in the game on the last game week, right, against Fulham team, but still the thing is, now do you sell James Rodriguez for some other player or just keep him, because he faces Leeds next, and I think another game is also pretty easy. What I think is, personally, I'm not a Rodriguez owner, so I can't be too accurate, but personally if I had Rodriguez right now, unless and until I wanted to make a premium significant change in my team, like removing Rodriguez for maybe, let's say, De Bruyne or Sterling or Salah, these kind of players, I think I'd rather keep Rodriguez in my team, because if you change Rodriguez to Grealish or Zaha or who are there, Ziyech maybe just wait for 2 more or few game weeks, because Ziyech is facing Spurs next, and now Kai Havertz, Pulisic, these players will return, and I feel like that Pulisic Ziyech might just be a rotation risk, even Werner, all these players might just be a rotation risk, because they'll have to play 3 games in a single week, the Champions League games, the Premier League game again. So I think it will be difficult for Ziyech and Pulisic and all these players to play week in week out, 3 games in a week. So there will be rotation for Lampard, I'm pretty sure about that. So as I said, if you have Rodriguez, and if until and unless you are thinking of making a significant premium change, or confirmed choice players like Salah or De Bruyne, these kind of players, I think just keep Rodriguez for maybe 1 or 2 more game weeks. Now talking about stock with players, the other player that managers are kind of having second thought about is Raul Jimenez. Now I think the situation with Raul Jimenez is you should have already sold him way earlier, like I also got rid of him while I used my wildcard in game 4 or 5, I guess. But I think there's no place for players like Jimenez right now, because Wolves are not scoring too many right now. They're defensively a very good team, but still they are not scoring too many. So I feel like you should sell Jimenez if you have lost faith in him. I think you should, because there are now cheaper players like Watkins, Bamford. They're doing pretty good, better than Jimenez right now. And with players like Calvert-Lewin, who cannot be removed if he is in your team. And now in this game with players like Vardy, you need to make spaces for players like Vardy, Calvert-Lewin, Bamford and Watkins, these kind of players. So I just don't see place for Jimenez in my team personally. So I feel like if you are thinking of selling him, you should already, so that you can save some money or maybe get a premium player, even more a dependable player. That's what I personally think. So if I had Jimenez, I would probably sell him right now, because the fixtures are also not that good enough. Now he faced next Arsenal and again Liverpool, Aston Villa, Chelsea. The fixtures don't look good either, but again he's a big time player, so yeah, he might just get some goals, but still I think other players will, looking at the fixtures, and from other players should, cheaper players should outscore Jimenez in upcoming game weeks. So I think it's better to get rid of Jimenez as soon as possible. Now next player, the most talked player for this game week is probably Vardy. So what I think about Vardy is like, it's super tempting, you know, it's super tempting to have Vardy this game week, considering how Fulham played against Everton. That Fulham and Everton game was pretty open, very open than expected. So it feels like Fulham are as a team not very sure, right? They just don't look too confident, you know. They are missing passes, they are losing possessions a lot, you know. It just does not look like they are, I don't know, the Premier League kind of material, you know. I'm sorry I said that, but still, that's what it feels like when you watch the Fulham games. So looking at that, I feel like there should be something for Vardy this game week. Now, if you have a free transfer, if you have money, and if you don't have any players that you need to change, I think Vardy should be your pick this game week, I think, easily. But now the problem comes when now you have to take a hit, you know, to bring in Vardy. The temptation is real, I know, playing against Fulham, Sheffield, Brighton and Everton. Like, there should be something, there should be a lot of point returns for Vardy. That's what I personally expect. But there is a point where I think you should think twice before bringing in Vardy, because now I did get this question like, should I remove Werner to bring in Vardy for a hit? So I personally don't think that is necessary, you know. I just don't think so. That I feel like that is a waste of transfer. Like, easily Vardy could miss out. I mean, he might just blank this game week against Fulham, you know, because Vardy's stats without penalty is not brilliant, you know. It's not like mind-blowing. But looking at Fulham's recent performance, it looks like Vardy should be a sure captain thing, you know, this game week. But as I said, if you have to make too many changes, you know, you have to change the entire dimension of your team just to bring in Vardy, I don't think it's worth it. That's what I personally think. So as I said, now removing Werner for -4 and bringing in Vardy, I don't think that's necessary, you know. But I'm pretty sure Vardy should outscore Werner this game week, but he might also blank. So that's what I personally think. As I said, Vardy's temptation is real, and I think that is for good reasons, because looking at his fixtures and considering the fact that he's on penalties and the game is at home, it looks like Vardy should be the player that you should look for. But as I said, if you have to make a lot of changes that will affect your team in future, and you are just bringing Vardy for this game week, I think it's not worth it. Maybe just wait one more game week and bring Vardy next game week, I guess. So that's what I personally think. But again, Vardy being Vardy, we know what he is capable of. If you are willing to do that, do it. Take a hit. Maybe it will work out. Maybe he will return like Fernandes this last game week as a captain. That might happen looking at the fixture. So yeah, that's what I personally think about Vardy. Now, this season probably two of the players that are most talked about are Son and Kane. So still, after all these difficult fixtures and all this stuff, there are still a lot of talk about Son and Kane. So what do I think about them? So I personally got rid of Son for Zaha this game week. I think that kind of backfired, but we couldn't have predicted that. So maybe yeah, I did that. So let's just move on with that. But what other managers are asking about is, they have already sold Son, so do I also sell Kane for Vardy? So I personally, what I think is, I think you at least need one Spurs asset, you know, the way they are playing, the position they are in the table. Yeah, the fixtures are not best enough, not good enough, but what I think is, I think it would be kind of unsatisfactory to not have either Son or Kane in your team, you know. It just feels unsettling, you know. So for now, what I think is, you need at least Son or Kane in your team. That's what I personally feel. But if you want to remove them and bring in some other player who you think might outscore them, do it. I'm not saying that, but me personally, I think I will keep Kane until the Arsenal game, at least until the Arsenal game. So after that, I might bring in Salah. So to fit in that, I might remove Kane. But I feel like there is something for Kane there against Arsenal, so that is one of the reasons I have Kane in there. Yeah, Kane has not returned a lot of double pointers this season, but come on, you gotta admire the consistency that Kane has been returning point, you know. Like since game week 2, as I've said, he has not blanked. He has been returning at least something. So yeah, there might be a debate like, is it worth it for the price that we are paying? But still, he is super consistent. So I don't see any reason to get rid of Kane right away. But yeah, if you want to remove Kane for Vardy, I don't think that's a problem. I just don't think so. But for a hit, I don't know. Maybe think twice about it. So yeah, what I have to say about Son and Kane is, maybe at least have one of them in upcoming fixtures. So now let's talk about Digne. So he did have a pretty good game week this time around, but I don't still feel like he's a good defensively choice. Attacking wise, I do feel like Everton is one of the best side. But still defensive wise, I don't think so. Without Coleman, that right side of Everton looks pretty fickle. Like Robinson was entire game kind of exploiting that space in the right where Iwobi was playing. Yeah, Iwobi looked pretty good attacking wise, but defensively still it did not look good at all. So yeah, defense wise, I just don't fancy Everton still, but attacking wise, I do think Digne is a good player. And in looking at the upcoming two fixtures, I don't see a clean sheet against Leeds at all for Everton, but maybe there might be something against Burnley. So yeah, would I invest my money on Digne right now? Probably not. But if you already have him, just leave him there, I guess. Now, finally, let's talk about the man of the moment right now. That is Jota. So there has been a lot of transfer in for Jota right now because he might be a good budget value. Now, I'm not against Jota, but still I think it's kind of early to bring in Jota. But as I said, now it all depends upon what kind of formation does Klopp plays. Now, if he plays the same formation that he did against Man City, you did see that how attacking Liverpool will against Man City in that first half. As I have talked about this multiple times, if Jurgen Klopp goes back to that formation, he could fit in Salah, Firmino, Mane and Jota in a single lineup. That can happen, but like I don't see him benching Mane or Salah or Firmino for Jota. I just don't see that. So that makes me kind of skeptical that is Jota still a 90-minute player? I don't think so. I don't think he's a 90-minute player yet. But the way he's performing right now, it kind of becomes difficult to not look at him right now. For the manager, I think that is what same happened with Kilman and Mitchell also. Like they kind of played for someone else. Like Mitchell played for PVA and Kilman played for Size. Just kind of for a test, but they performed very well. So and it became difficult for those players to be benched. Sadly, Mitchell got injured and it looks like he has lost his place in that Crystal Palace side. But that's what I'm talking about. If the players are doing good, extremely good, it kind of becomes difficult to bench those players. As I said, the example of Kilman and Mitchell, that the same thing is happening with Jota. Now, if he keeps on performing, if he keeps on scoring, it kind of becomes difficult for the manager to not see what he's doing on the pitch. I personally still feel like that it is kind of early to just jump on Jota. Now, if you are one of those managers who is fine of Jota being a rotation risk or maybe something, because Jota has been doing like what Firmino has to do in 90 minutes. He has been doing in 15 minutes. He just comes on and scores. Now, after all, that is what matters in FPL. So, my personal opinion on Jota is, now we'll have to see how Klopp will put out the formation. If it's same as of that Man City game, the 4 players, all the Mane, Salah, Firmino and Jota playing in a single lineup, I think that will benefit Jota owners, But still, I feel like he's a rotation risk. I still don't feel like he's a 90-minute player. But again, the way that he's playing, it kind of becomes difficult to not look at him, So yeah, this is it. I think I covered most of the topics that were like kind of trending right now. If there's any question, do write it in the comment section, or you can DM me in the Instagram. And talk about DM, now there has been some teams that I've got in my Instagram DM to review. So if you have some team that you want to get reviewed or want to talk about just simple transfer, just send me in the Instagram DM. We'll talk about that in the upcoming live stream, or I'll make a different video for it. And as I said, I kind of update everything, my team changes, my transfers, or the live stream dates, everything in my Instagram. So yeah, do check that out. The link is in the description. I'm kind of having some problem with my streaming software, so I'll update you guys if there will be a deadline stream or not this game week in Instagram. And yeah, I only need now 15 more subscribers to reach 1.5k subscribers. So yeah, please do help me with that. If you like the content, please drop a like, and if you are new, please subscribe. That will help the channel a lot. For now, bye bye.